quiet seaside town, an evil laid to rest centuries ago, has risen. An abandoned fortress deep in the swamp holds a secret that could save the village or destroy it. Now, a band of adventurers sets out to dig up the wounds of the past and bring the light of day to the roots of ruin. This is Tabletop Gold. Hello, and
hi, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome. Okay, and welcome to Tabletop Gold. Welcome to our show. Hi, I'm Lars Casteen, joined today, as always, by the most professional crew in podcasting, including, but not
Matt
limited to,
Humphreys.
our Matt Humphreys,
Hello.
Robin Lange.
Robin Lange.
And you know what else is Robin Lange? 5-star reviews.
Wait, no, Robin
Introductions.
has to say hello before I can move on. Robin has to say
Oh,
hi.
do I need to actually say hello? Sorry.
Yeah, please. Okay, that counts as
Hello.
hi. Okay. David the Tin Man Chernicoff.
Good that time.
And I think that's it. I think those are the only people.
God.
Oh, wait,
only
no.
Lars.
Zoe Chernicoff is here as well. Hi, Zoe.
Good alienating
Pick it
time.
up.
It is
there.
alienating, isn't it, folks?
Next time.
Before we get into our game today, and I'm excited for what we got going on, it's going to be an interesting conversation happening, I think, in our game. I don't know. Who knows to say? But I want to share a story with you, and I want to ask you a question. There is a mall near my home that recently, it's like opening. They're adding new stores to it. And the latest store that opened at this mall was a video arcade, an arcade game place, right? That specializes, among other things, in claw machines. They have, different ways for you to win, like little plush animals, boxes with little figurines in them, that kind of thing. There are all kinds of different claw machines. There's like a claw that you can play where you, like, the thing pokes at a box and knocks it into a tube. There's a thing where like the claw comes down. There's another thing where it's like pushing a thing. There's all kinds of different games that you can play where you're like trying to get an item out of a big box, right?
Sure.
The way that this place works, and here's my question for you. I think I got brutally ripped off at this place, and I want to see if you guys agree. The way that this place works is you buy a debit card from them. You go to the desk,
Yes.
and they have
you were
like a
ripped off.
variety of different cards. Okay, never mind. And you can give them money, and the more money you give them, the more bonus stuff you get. And I go to this mall pretty frequently, so I was like, tell you what, I'm going to buy the highest value card. I'm going to buy a $50 card, because I think there's a good chance that we might return here and maybe we're going to have a good time. If we don't,
This way you're getting the most bang for your buck.
right. Because I saw this is likely to be a really fun time, because I've been watching this storefront for weeks being like, we're coming, like it's happening now. I even stood in line with my son, who is 4 years old, to get into this place for 45 minutes because my son was like, I want to go to this place. And it's like, it's not open for 45 minutes. And there was like a line going down the hallway in this shopping
Was this
mall.
like opening day?
This was like the day after opening day.
Wow.
It was
Okay.
opening weekend.
Okay.
And so I bought the $50 card, and I got some extra number of cards, some extra number of dollars on it. And he and I started trying to win the claw games. We didn't win one time. How long do you think it took us to blow through $50 plus extra credits worth of money on this debit card at this claw game?
11 minutes.
I was just gonna say 10, at least 10, more than 10 pulls at the around 10 pulls at the claw game. Guessing it's $5 a
I'll
pull.
say 16 minutes.
Armat?
1 hour is my guess.
See, so that's what I thought it would be. I thought it would be like an hour. I thought it would be like we would go for 15 minutes. We would try out the different claw games, then we would come back. Because like you don't win. Like you don't win the claw
Right.
game. So like they may as well let you keep trying because it's rigged
Right.
anyway, right?
Right.
I blew through these $50 in 8 minutes at this claw
8?
game place.
Wow.
Kidding me.
And I got to the end of this experience and I felt so stupid because I don't think anybody else was blowing through their money as fast as we were. Like I just didn't understand what the deal was apparently. And I'm not blaming them. Like God bless you, do what you got to do. It's fine. But like I felt at the end of it, I had to turn it into a teachable moment with my son where I was like, this is what it's like to get ripped off. This is what it's like to do something that you think is fun. It's not fun. Then you run out of money and it's over. So my question is, I guess, do you think I got ripped off? And two, are there experiences like that where you feel like you have gotten ripped off, if anything? Or even if you got a great value out of something? Who knows? Just getting ripped off, having great value. We're talking about value today here on the free
how
podcast.
much of that rapid incineration of the money was a 4-year-old who wants to hit the red button on the claw machine immediately? Because I've experienced that. Like some of this may not be on you.
25%.
Okay.
It
How
turned.
much was it per pull?
I think it was basically like $3 per pull.
Right. But then you got a kid who every like third pull is just slamming the red button right away. and
Yeah,
you're
exactly,
gonna-
exactly. And I here am I think because they abstract it, right? It's like I got $50, which got me 175 credits. Each pull is X number of credits, so it's like I don't even know
credits.
what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? I don't
Right.
even know
That's
what
how
I'm
they do it.
doing.
Yeah.
They've created a whole currency, the exchange rate of which is indecipherable.
Right. And I'm like,
Yeah.
well, a pull at a claw game, that has to cost them basically nothing because this game is rigged anyway. So like,
Right.
but no. It was like $3 to $4 for a pull.
Wow.
The first time I pushed the button at the thing that pokes the thing, it poked the box of with the toy right off of the thing, and it fell into a reservoir in the back of the machine. And I looked around, being like, "Did I win? Is that it? Did I win?" And nobody came around to talk to us. I like looked in the little thing, like the box at the bottom, reaching in, being like, "Did I lose? Did I remove that toy from eligible? Like, what are we even doing right here?" And then 8 minutes later, that I was out about
That was it.
$50.
How much fun did you have during those 8
Okay,
minutes?
let me tell you what I had fun with, and I don't
I
want.
think he's trying to get some fun out of it now, which
I-
honestly I respect.
Right.
I see. Yeah.
Yeah.
This he's trying to like extrude value from this totally valueless
Yeah.
thing that happened. to him.
I think
Yep.
that
You got
that's
ripped
exact.
off.
I think that's.
Here are two things that come to mind. The first is we have been in a number of these kinds of places with our kids because all kids love doing this kind of stuff. And we have a kid in particular who loves video games, loves them.
Right.
And the trick is to try to get in there and size up how does this particular place, how have they constructed their weird like value, the chimerical currency setup.
Right.
Like we did one birthday party at a Dave and Buster's. Dave and Buster's is this like really obscure. It runs on this credit system, but each game machine is not the same number of credits. They are in fractions of credits, and they're not. So this one is 3.9 credits, and this one is
Yes.
2.7 credits.
Yes.
Kidding.
What?
And
Yes.
this one is 4.1 credits.
And they're like
No.
That's what happened-
securitized, so I believe it changes based on the popularity.
Correct.
Like it's not even a static
No,
7.25
it's dynamic. It probably changes
credits.
based on
It's
the
like,
time of day. It probably based on how often it's being played that hour because it's all digital. So
Isn't late stage capitalism?
you
great?
buy
It-
this
it
thing and
is-
it has a
it
certain
sounds
number of
great.
credits on it, and you literally cannot know how many plays that is, and you can't
Yeah.
even figure it out as you go along. It is just you are completely like adrift, and so it pushes you into this very like. That's how cons work. Is it like kicks in whatever circuitry in your brain is just like I'm going to be a herd animal, and it's a very uncomfortable. That's a very uncomfortable experience.
I there's two things that come to mind. First, Armat said earlier something about like how much fun did you have, and I think that's such a key thing. Like you have to just understand that you're buying and trying to have a certain amount of fun within that time, and that's why you were scammed because you had no fun.
Yeah.
But two, I think what you were just saying, David, makes me. It kind of brought to mind. I think arcades are essentially how kind of modern America has gotten around all of our gambling laws.
Mhm.
That this is like the house is always winning. If you go to say like just a seaside town anywhere in England, you're going to get the arcades, and those arcades are very clearly gambling games where you are just literally dropping coins in to try and get other coins knocked out just to get more money pouring out of the machine. There's no question that it's gambling games.
Right.
Here we're kind of dressing them up and covering them because sometimes you can win a prize, which essentially possibly has a monetary value. Most of it's junk, that prize makes it feel gets the same instincts in our brain, sets off the same thing in our synapses that gambling does.
Yeah.
Regarding the prizes, this arcade is next door to a toy store that sells the same stuff that you can win at the arcade.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
The reward system of our brain kicks in. I want to win it.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I don't think I realized how badly I got ripped off.
That's like
until
offensive. The taunt of that is so upsetting.
Yeah,
that's
tough.
Like not exactly, right? Like the I'm sure there's some unique things at each place, but like there are these little boxes of like collectible little blind boxes with like characters from, anime series and stuff like that. They have the same stuff on both sides of that divider at the mall.
They could share a stock room.
This feels like a psychology experiment. To me, this has transcended into some, like the NYU Cognitive Science Lab is running this as like just an understanding of human psyche.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that the currency is obscure and that the whole thing is set up to wage war on me, to extract more money from me.
Right. To like wage war in your decision making.
Yes. And it taxes me in all the ways that my life most taxes me.
Okay.
Like it makes me less able to enjoy it. I get less. If someone was just like, this is going to be an arcade. It's going to be and everything costs $2, and I could just turn off the part of my brain that's trying to figure out what the fuck is going on. Like I can go in. I enjoy gambling, and I definitely look at it as I'm about to pay this much money, and I'm going to try to make those chips that I get last as long as I possibly can.
Because there's a 1-to-1 ratio in the valuation. I know
what you're spending. I know where I stand. Like I can see them, and I know what I have left, and I know how long has gone by, and I know how many drinks I've gotten. Like I know what's happening, so I can assess: am I having enough fun or not? With this other thing, it's like I don't even know if I'm having enough fun or not, and that makes me crazy. And then I have no fun.
Yeah, we got to move on, but I just want to say one thing to that.
Yeah.
If I had gone and had fun, I would be like, who cares?
Right.
To answer, this is just my personal answer for that question.
Yeah.
But because I went and it didn't have fun and then my money was gone immediately, I deeply care about like getting, you know what I mean? Like I'm happy.
Sure.
Obfuscated for me.
Your son.
Yeah, that's what it turned into. I was like, now, did we have fun? And he was like, no. I was like, I hope that we've all learned something from this, boy. Yeah, so, okay. We got to move on. Okay. It's time to play our game. Before we move on, before we do that, I just want to ask, if you're listening to this on a podcast app, please leave us a rating or review on the app if your app is good enough to support that. And if you're watching the show on YouTube, please give us a like, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel. And now, let's get into it. Let's play our game. The Children of Belcora, a name bestowed upon a group of mummified deep gnomes, seem to have spent the last 5 centuries, at least, working to further the goals of Belcora Haravex here, deep within the dungeons below Gauntlet. In your search for the missing members of Absalom's Star Watch, you've entered chambers inhabited by these children. You've just entered a chamber that has been retrofitted into something resembling a tomb, complete with a mummy adorned with gems and jewels that appear to have been forcefully pushed into its head. It has just seen you, opened its eyes, and whispered to its mommy that it is about to ascend. 4 members of the Star Watch team are still missing. The grunt Torpor Wedge, the magic user Bevran Dralfo, the medic Bertie Graham, the captain Margot Jensen, and also your friend from the Otari Town Guard, Mark. So this creature that you're about to speak to, as it says, like, I will ascend, and he smiles at you. This creature is ancient. It's wearing the same kind of clothing that you've seen the children of Belcora wearing. It's got like a yellow workman's shirt, a pair of blue pants, and the thing that you notice when it opens its eyes and looks at Istin and makes this comment is you see that instead of eyes in its eye sockets, it has a pair of transparent topaz gemstones that have been pushed into its eye sockets. Ao is hiding around a corner as Istin, Mag, and Trill are approaching this creature in this tomb. And also, just to refresh your memory, there was a trap on this door that you dismantled that would have cast some sort of spell had you attempted to open the door before dismantling it.
So something wanted to keep us out.
Or keep something in.
And this creature looks at
Or keep us out.
Istin, or both. And the creature looks at Istin and says, my name is Gorsalthith. What is your name? As these gemstones glitter in its sightless eyes.
Gorsalthist?
Gorsalthith.
How do you pronounce Gorsalthith?
Gorsalthith.
Well, Gorsalthith, it's very nice to meet you. You have beautiful eyes. You're about to ascend to what? Consciousness? Another plane of being?
Well,
Trial?
because my ascension is so imminent, I will tell you my tale, and I will tell you what I will ascend to.
Oh, I'd like to hear your tale. You know, I know a few good tales myself. Did I?
I'm not interested in your
story
stories.
Hush, Istin, let him talk.
Oh, right, sorry.
Once I finished killing the 3 of you, and my ascension is complete, I think no one will be able to withstand the power of my voice to hear my story. So this is my last chance to share it. So, will you listen, or would you like to die now?
Listen first, Trill says as she gets her loot ready.
And this mummy has now propped itself up on the side of the tomb, its legs sort of dangling back and forth as it's talking to you, propped up on its, its hands propped up on its thighs. And it's strange, like just how old this creature looks, and yet it's speaking to you in this like very naive way. And it says,
Okay, here is the tale before my ascension. We all worked for Mommy long ago. She could be wicked, and she could be kind, but she always loved us. She would praise us when we did good work for her, and she would chastise us when we failed her. Eventually, those of us who loved her the deepest stayed with her, while those whose love was too weak to keep their bodies moving, they fell to the side. After some time, Mommy gave us quite a test. she stopped coming to visit us. Some others came to tell us lies to test us, saying that Mommy had died. But we knew her love was bigger than death, and so we stood by her telling the liars that they were liars. And we passed the test. But our bodies started to fail us shortly after that. The work that we needed to do while she was testing us was too much, and we were getting older and frailer. So we buried each other in the mud so we could rise again and keep working for Mommy. The plan worked perfectly, and we've continued working for her, and even though she didn't show us approval directly, we could still feel that Mommy loved us, even then while she was gone.
And this gem-encrusted mummy is just like nodding his head sort of vacantly for a long time after he finishes this sentence.
So, friend, you asked what I was ascending to.
Ooh, yeah.
Well, I'll tell you. I would like to become even better than I am now, so I can do even better work for Mommy and win even more of her love. But the others, they stopped understanding me. Some of them stopped working, playing silly games, or wandering off and doing other things, failing Mommy's test. There are stories that we used to tell each other long ago, before Mommy left, about incredibly powerful creatures, skulls covered with gems that can cast phenomenal spells, flying around, whoosh! Imagine what I could do for Mommy once I ascend.
And he smiles at you now, and you can see that the teeth in his mouth have been ripped out, and he's replaced them with little gemstones that glitter in the light in front of you.
Oh, poor Ao.
Useless.
He's like, what was that?
Nothing.
Who said that? Okay. So I've added enough gems to my skull. Look, do you see my crown? Do you see my beautiful crown?
One of them looks a bit crooked. I'm sorry. I'm being not helpful.
Would you fix it for me?
Oh yeah, of course, absolutely.
He holds
Reaches
his head
in
out
and-
to you.
He kind of gets right. Oh, that feels so weird.
And he starts clapping.
He says, thank you. You know, I'm not used to people coming in here and helping me. The others used to come and mess with me and try to stop me from ascending, but I showed them by putting a little trap on the door. Anytime Mommy's other children came through the door, boom!
And he claps his hands together and shakes his head back and forth.
I will admit, though, it is taking some more time than I expected. I've been lying here for probably 100 years waiting for my skin to turn to dust so my beautiful skull can go zoom all around and zap everyone with spells. But this skin just won't turn to dust.
So you see that he's pulling on his like embalmed, preserved skin that will never decay.
But now Mommy is back, and she shimmers blue, which is interesting, and she only comes up this high to visit us for very short lengths of time, which is fine. But I believe Mommy's return means that it is time for me to ascend. And now you are here, the final test. I believe that you arriving here is a sign. I will kill the three of you, and then Mommy will reward me, and my skin will finally turn to dust, and I will be a big, beautiful skull.
You know, I would do anything for love, but I won't do that.
Oh, you don't like my gems?
No, I mean, if you're asking me personally, it sounds like you've kind of been taken advantage of. You know, like when sometimes you go to a tavern that has darts and other games, and they charge you a certain fraction of your coin to play those games while you're drinking. And it's disingenuous, you know? You think you're getting one thing, but you're not. And it turns out you're just getting ripped off, honestly. And I think that's what you're going through here.
What kind of a rube would do that on purpose?
Senseless, Mag mutters under her breath.
So you get the impression that this bog mummy would be happy to talk to you more, but he's indicating that he's going to kill you now, which will allow him to ascend. So if you want to make a check to convince him not to kill you, we can do that. If you succeed, maybe this guy will talk to you more. And if you fail, he'll attack you.
So from down the hallway, all of a sudden a sort of raspy voice can be heard, in imitation of Belcora going, "Go away." And Ao changes form to look like what I can only describe as Disco Belcora, sort of like the ghost of Belcora they've just seen, but like for a fancy occasion. Maybe some gemstones herself. I don't think she's been able to see this creature, so I'm not sure how actually imitative there are, but the idea is to sort of have a similar gemstone vibe, like an ascension gown, an event gown on the ghost of Belcora.
Is she telling us to go away? Is Ao coming in and telling us to leave, or is she telling the creature to go away?
I think she's imitating the one thing she knows this ghost has said. I'm not sure it's a particularly well thought through phrase. It's just that the last thing we heard her scream at us was "go away."
Oh.
And so she figured she's, let's remember, several times tried to be Belcora and botched it pretty bad. Yeah. So this is just like the one thing up her sleeve that she knows this lady wanders the hallways saying here.
Yeah.
My prediction is this is going to embolden him, but it also seems spot on for Ao to do something like this.
Let's start off. Are you using any sort of magical disguise at this point to become Belcora?
Yes.
Okay. Because you've
I guess
got a couple
illusory
options.
disguise is my best version of that.
I think illusory disguise doesn't let you become a specific person. The thing that you've got that lets you become a specific person is this like feat that you have. The give me a sec. Your ancestry feat. Shifting faces. Once per day, it lets you do a 3rd rank illusory disguise for an hour. 3rd rank illusory disguise is the one that lets you become a specific person. So this gives you
there we go. That's what I'm doing.
A +4 status bonus to deception checks to prevent others from seeing through the disguise. You also, though, Zoe, just to get super mechanical for a second here, you have this impossible cake, which adds if you eat it, adds item bonuses to your deception checks to impersonate, and those will stack with the bonuses from the magic spell. So if you really want to blow the doors off of this, you could munch on an impossible cake before you cast the spell. You know what I mean?
Look, I think all of us can agree it might not be worth it, but I think when Ao's in disguise mode, she's in disguise mode. So yeah, she wants to knock this out of the park. I think she's also curious if she can get away with being Belcora, probably only for benign, non-concerning reasons. Let's not focus on it. It's fine. So yeah, she eats that impossible cake.
Okay. So you eat this impossible cake, you use your daily shifting faces. You're giving yourself a +7 to this impersonate check, which is pretty impressive. So the first thing that we're going to check, and this isn't going to get you any closer to stopping this creature from ascending. This is just does he believe that Belcora is here? Why don't you, in this instance, because you're coming in and interacting directly with him, can you give me a deception check to impersonate? Do you have a +19 to right now?
That's a good plus.
Okay, so I've gotten a secret check from you, and that is a success only because of the combination of everything that you have just done.
Wow.
So
He's perceptive.
The alchemical, the magical, everything else is combining. And he hears you saying, "Go away." And he looks at you and he says, "Mommy is here.
Now, what do you mean? Who should go away? Should they go away or should I go away, Mommy?
We will go away together to greatness. But first, and she sort of peeks her head in around Mags, sort of scowling and casting about. I must hear a litany of your deeds. Are you ready to ascend?
Oh no, Mommy, my deeds are so limited because I have been in this room for 100 years preparing to ascend. Gorsalthith lay down on the slab and said, now I ascend. And then 100 years later, Mommy showed up and said, go away. Perhaps if I tell you what I have heard through these doors, then that will help you.
It is a beginning.
Trill's like nodding on the side, kind of side-eyeing AO. Mm-hmm.
I think Islan is trying not to crack up.
And he looks at the three of you and he says, you must be Mommy's friends.
I brought them here as models of hard workers. They have been trying to please me while you have been lying here.
Okay. So this is going to be the check that convinces him to not ascend.
Yeah.
If this sounds good to you, I'll have AO do a lie. And if this lie succeeds, then he'll believe that that they're all here as part of a demonstration and he shouldn't kill them. Otherwise, he'll think that this is a trick. This is another test from Mommy because he believes that Belcora does bizarre mental manipulations and he stays the course because he is fanatically devoted to doing the same thing over and over and over and over again. So
like
if this lie, vaguely, maybe. So if this lie succeeds, then he will keep talking to you and tell you more. Otherwise, we're going to have a really strange encounter where he thinks that Belcora is here and he tries to kill everybody. It's going to be weird. So, so let's get that lie check. This is a very important check.
It's been checked. I can't see it. It's private.
He looks at you and he says,
okay, I will tell you what I have heard through this door then. Good. Mommy, you told all of us that we should round up the scariest creatures we could find around the swamp, put them in cages, and prepare them to be sent to the higher levels above.
Oh, I knew it!
Silence!
Yes, no, sorry, Mommy. This is weird.
But just imagine how much better I will be once I ascend. You can see it, can't you? An incredible jeweled skull whooshing around, capturing all sorts of beasts and shoving them into cages. That would make you love me truly, wouldn't it, Mommy?
and you look, and this creature looks particularly old as this happens. You see like the white hair sort of matted to its like decaying skin as it says this.
But, Mommy, you've given us a new boss, the Snake Woman. I know she is your choice, but we don't love her. She's not doing a good job for you, Mommy.
In what ways has she fallen short?
Well, I hear through the door. I hear the others that she is lazy and that she's a liar. I want you to know, when I am a jeweled skull, I will not be lazy.
Good.
I guess we don't really have a good way of getting questions to AO at this point.
Well, and she can't pretend to not know who the Snake Woman
Right.
is, right? Because she
I'm wondering,
installed
like,
her.
what more could we learn about these jeweled skulls? And are there many? Are there any of them around? And what's their weakest save? Whatever.
Yeah, give me a religion check or something similar. Blind, please.
Was not Mag's long suit, y'all.
Just if anybody else wants to think of, they know what this could be. That's also a thing you could do.
Would you take an arcana roll?
I would, but I'm going to let you know what Mag thinks first. Mag
Lovely.
believes that jeweled skulls are not actually skulls with jewels on them. They're more jewels with skulls next to them. So none of this is really sounding right necessarily. Mag's heard of skulls and jewels, but doesn't have a great sense of how they might combine.
Yep.
Not Mag's long suit.
Nope. That was about what was happening in David's head too, so it checks out.
And I just got to check from Armat. You do not have a great sense of what this creature is talking about either. So I don't think any of you are too confident about what this creature might be talking about.
Your patience is commendable, Disco Belcora says. Have you seen any new intruders? You spoke of your trap going off. Perhaps a Gripply or people in uniform. And she's trying to see if anyone from the Star Watch has shown up or been caught in the trap.
And he says, I'm so sorry, Mommy. I have been in this room. I don't really know anything about that. I heard a fight some hours ago. Maybe that's what you mean? It sounded like you came and yelled at some people and they all jumped into the water like little babies. I am sad to have missed it, but once I am a jeweled skull, I will yell at people and make them jump into the water like babies just like you want me to.
Well, that fight sounds familiar. Mag grits her teeth, and it's audible.
Are your teeth okay? Would you prefer to have jewel teeth like I do? They make no sound as they grind together. Or at least they don't after you've worn them down for 90 years of grinding them together.
A little bit of bile comes into Ao's mouth at the idea of getting rid of perfectly good eternal teeth and replacing them with jewels. But you just sort of see Belcora blanch slightly.
Have I made you mad, Mommy? I'm sorry. Once I ascend, I promise I will not make you mad again.
Why don't you impress Mommy by telling her what's behind that door to the east out there? The one that has gnomish writing on it that says don't go in there?
Oh, you must be talking about the door to the west. Well, I'll tell you.
Right, yes. No, that was exactly the one I meant.
I heard some of the others talking about how they wanted to get the best creatures for Mommy. They did, but they couldn't because some of the creatures were too strong, so they just put them in there and then thought about what to do with them later.
So glad we didn't open that door.
Disco Belcora casts around, trying to get a read on whether anyone else has any other questions.
We could always come back.
Right, well, one more. There were some Kalini or Caligni on this floor. Do you know anything about them or their figure of Earthagal or why they would smoke
Their egg smell is ruining my dungeon, Disco Belcora adds in.
Mommy, is it okay if I tell this one about the Caligni people?
We shall test his trustworthiness.
Oh, yes, mistress. You're very kind and whatnot, but fearsome when angered.
Well, I have not seen the Caligni people myself because I've been busy in my room ascending. But I have heard that they are very strange. There's something around here that they love very much, and they get eggs, and they smoke them for some silly reason to show them that they love whatever this thing is that they love. So...
Kind of like covering yourself in jewels?
Well, no, that is because I am about to ascend.
Because you love Mommy.
Oh. That's a question. Am I going to ascend because I love Mommy? Or do I love Mommy because I'm going to ascend? I don't know.
Both can be true.
Okay. Thank you, Mommy. Mommy, when you came back, I heard that you were very mad at those Caligni people because they were in your shrine that you loved so much. You wanted to keep the Calignis away from this thing that they love so much, the thing that they smoke the eggs for. You wanted to keep them away from it. So we boxed them in, which I thought was so funny. I wished I didn't have the responsibility of ascending so I could have helped. The reason I think it's funny is
Because the Caligny people want to get to the thing that they love, and you were so clever to move your eyes and also us, your children, into just the right places to keep the Caligny people where they are and to keep them away from whatever it is that you want to keep them away from. I bet it's making the Caligny people really mad that they can't get to whatever this thing that they love is. But Mommy, you are like that sometimes.
They'll never get to it now.
And when I ascend, I will stop the Caligny people from going anywhere that you don't want them to go, because I'm going to be a jewel skull. Zoom!
Speaking of jewels in his skull, can we estimate how much gold those are worth?
Yeah, you size up Gorsalthith, and his teeth are 24 semi-precious stones. Not worth very much, about 8 silver pieces as you cravenly examine his
so
teeth.
10 days work.
Okay, very, very good. The topazes in his eye sockets seem to be very valuable. And the crown, these gems, are quartz that also seem moderately valuable. It seems like it adds up to maybe like 150 gold pieces worth of gems and jewels.
I mean, that's a couple scrolls.
So are you considering just reaching over and ripping the eyes out of this thing's skull?
No, I mean, I would never do that. Yeah. But if we were to end up fighting him, well, then...
Do we just walk away? I think, you know what? Here's the thing. Okay. So
If we need treasure, we could come back, right?
I mean,
yeah, I've just been
fair,
very...
he's a horrible mummy that is going to hurt people if anyone encounters him. I mean, like, admittedly, if he stays lying here, it's...
I will say, I love that this is giving
possibility,
us
but-
moral scruples and assigning someone's soul to a devil.
Yes!
Well,
Thank
so
you!
I was about to say, here's the thing. I think Trill, now that she's starting to kind of come to terms with all of these thoughts and is actually working on processing, I think she's got a lot of issues with these gnome mummies, considering they're gnomes who have signed on to, head worshiper of Nimbaloth. And I think she's looking at this thing feeling very pitiful for, this pity for it. I don't think Trill necessarily does want to actually get in a fight with him if she doesn't have to.
Mag was up for selling the soul of the thing or whatever it was we did. Because
Selling the soul of the thing. The Carmen Rajani. It was the thing's name.
right.
By the way.
Consigning
He has a name.
was all right with consigning Carmen
Ag.
Rajani to damnation.
Yeah.
Because it was going to save a lot of time in what she sees as the primary quest here, which is like neutralizing the Belcora, the threat at Gauntlet. This doesn't seem to be posing as much of a threat, so she doesn't feel as motivated to.
I mean, it could be argued that the most merciful thing to do is put this guy out of his misery. He's not alive.
Okay, Vadim.
All right.
This is Matt saying it. It's not.
Vadim wouldn't be doing it for
Istham.
mercy. Vadim would be doing it because it's anathema.
That's true.
The most.
I think
I
Ao
think you'd
has
see it as
lost interest
mercy.
in this creature because of its fake teeth. So if someone else wants to plow ahead, I don't think she's leaving. Like, she wants to make sure everyone gets out safely, but I don't know that she's spearheading further interactions. So
Maybe we kind of like nod at Ao so you know that we're ready. And then as Belcora, you could lead us out.
Well, Armat, do you want to try? Like, if you want to try and trade with it, go for it.
No, it's fine.
Maybe Trill says,
Mommy, I think he's done enough.
Right, but he should stay here
Yes.
in this room, no matter what.
Ascension is the greatest gift you can give me.
Wait, is that true? I should stay here?
That's your best shot.
Okay. And he says, he gives you a little salute and then flops back down on the table. And you can hear as you leave the room a little bit of a mutter. He just says,
Ascension, 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 ascension,
Sweet little
ascension, ascension,
moron.
ascension, 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 ascension,
See,
ascension.
it would have felt like kicking a
Who
puppy.
hungers for flesh? Who hungers for flesh?
You know, there's zombie puppies too.
It's true.
Yeah, and you don't want to pet them.
Ao's already left.
They hunger for flesh.
So, as you leave Gorsalthith behind in this room, having learned some additional information about what the children of Belcora are here doing, and also their involvement regarding what the Calignes are dealing with on the eastern side of this floor, as well as your only, even though imperfect, firsthand accounting of what happened with the Star Watch, you head back into the hallway that connects into these chambers that the children of Belcora have been using as at least an outpost here in this portion of the dungeon. This hallway that you step back into that is connected to this room that Gorsalthith is in has a door leading back where you came from, back into that game room, or has a door at the bottom to the southern end leading to the east. That door is moist to the touch and seems like it might lead back outside.
Mag's scouting for enemies.
Okay. So Mag opens this door and you find yourself looking back out onto the beach. If you recall, this beach, you went into that door that led to the Caligny stronghold, and then you swam across to this like beach on the western side.
Right.
This is connecting back in there. You see yourself looking onto cages that the children of Belcora, it seems, have loaded up with all kinds of monsters that they have trapped from around the swamp. So this is an area you have been to before, but now you're approaching it with some additional context, like understanding how these creatures got here and what purpose they serve.
That can't be right. Can Trill wants to go back in the hall and see if she can search for any hidden doors.
Yeah, Trill is searching along the way and she doesn't detect any hidden doors.
On a hallway with not many doors. I don't like it. Don't trust it.
Yeah, the conclusion that you come to, not running into any secret doors here, is that, like, this is a pretty shabby area that these deep gnomes that have been mummified and have sort of through selection or through effort on their own part, like, infantilized themselves. They've just got a game room and they've got this dumb tomb that Gorsalthith set himself up in. And that's kind of it right here. Like, you get the sense like you've seen everything in this area that there is to see.
Ooh, shall we go through the barricade? See which monsters are there and which we'll have to fight?
No.
No.
What is wrong
Although, let's
with the
actually.
two of you?
So I'm trying to think of where the other doors are right now.
Yeah, same.
So there's the one we haven't opened that's to the north of us. That is to that. That's not a door. It's the barricade.
Yes.
Right.
So we don't
Which
want
you
to go
now
in
know
there.
something about.
Some of us don't want to go in there.
I remember. So if we kept going to down this path and go back into this part of the kind of swampy bay where we were in before, that led us to where the Caligny were.
Yeah.
I remember Lars mentioned there's a kind of where this waterfall is. There's kind of a platform, a level up that seems to be something there. But then there were also a couple doors we didn't go through where the Caligny were. And then there's also still, I think, further to the west. We haven't been on a boat. We haven't taken a boat out west yet.
Yeah. And you have no sense from the exploration that you've done so far of how much more lake there is to the west.
I guess we also climbed up on that 20-foot high thing, and there was a passage up to the north from there. So we've got 3 exterior leads, like remainder of the lake to the west, waterfall to the east, or climbing back up the thing and squeezing through the crevasse to the north. There are no more like door. There's no more exterior doors that we've seen. What were the interior doors by the Caligny that we haven't looked at?
Yeah, there were a couple more doors in
were.
there that we decided to leave behind. There was a secret door, and I think there were 2 other doors. Is that correct, Lars?
Yeah, the Caligny area, what Gorsouth is described as a shrine that they had taken over, that seems like it is significantly larger and more complex, potentially.
I was going to say, shrines tend to be more complex, hence shrine complex.
Yeah. Then, at least compared to this this area that the children of Belcora went into, but that's sort of the extent of the knowledge that you have. You did, as you were investigating that area, reach the conclusion that no additional members of the Star Watch had gone through there, though.
Right, that's why we left.
Which is why we turned
were...
back around.
Well, should we go back and get in a boat and see what's to the west? See if we can find Mark there?
I don't think so.
There's also a barricade to the west.
No. We're finding
I
Mark.
don't understand you
Finding
sometimes.
Mark.
If Armat keeps saying this stuff, I'm gonna put Mark in there just to just to make a point of it.
The fiercest of all
That's
the
right.
creatures.
The most devastating adversary that Belcora has faced, Mark.
He's been the big bad all along, of course.
Oh, I love it.
It's always the
He
ones you don't
engineered
expect.
it
Guys are
all.
so say.
I think that Mag would like Trill be most drawn to getting in a boat and or just swimming off to the west like she did last time because she swims well and can hold her breath to see what is over there.
How long do I get to be Belcora? 10 minutes or an hour?
You get to be Belcora for a total of an hour. It's been about
All right.
20 minutes since you cast that spell, though.
Okay.
This is really creeping me out.
Go away.
Go
Ao
away.
says taunting.
You go away.
And then Ao feigns walking towards the barricade to open it.
Ayo, get back here.
Iston tries to catch Mag's eye and says, "See, Belcora Jr. Told you."
So, it sounds like you guys are getting into a boat.
Yeah.
This will be cool.
Well, I'm going to tell you something. I don't want to mess around with this boat technology that I used before. So we are going to, I'm just going to use the party token and I'm going to move you around that way. So hop on board. Everyone's getting in the party token.
Choo choo.
So,
Whoa, everything went dark.
And now the party token doesn't have
And you
a
died.
light source.
Oh.
You're dead. Sorry. Give me a second. I'll give you a light source.
What a great ending.
Yeah. No one saw that coming.
Yeah, exactly. We should play Don't Stop Believin' now.
Right. And the episode will be called Go Away.
So you load into the second of these 4 boats and you start rowing off. Are we doing a similar thing where Mag is rowing in this instance?
Sure.
Well, Trill sits on her shoulders.
And in what direction are you guys rowing?
Westward ho!
Okay.
Can we get Trill up on the prow?
I don't know how to tell
Standing
you this,
like-
but she was on the prow last time you took the rowboat also. This is
I know. We know.
Okay.
This is fun.
Very good.
This looks like spines.
Admiral
these little
Trill.
like inlets of land coming off the north side where we're ending up.
Yeah, you so Trill notices, you look up and you see that there are caves atop steep cliffs that are about 10 feet above the dark water of the lake. You hear the oar dipping into the water as you move slowly past these 4 caves. And as you get a little distance towards that second cave, you hear a voice call out. Hello?
Hello?
Don't come any closer. They'll kill you.
Clearly, we have to go closer.
Yeah, let's go closer. Mag. Who will?
Must be one of the Star Watch.
Yeah. I think Ao recognizes this voice.
It's the Gripply.
Was it the Gripply?
It's the Gripply.
It is the voice of Bertie Graham,
Aw,
Oh, we gotta
Birdie.
save her.
the medic who cared for the Star Watch on this assignment. Go away! And then you hear the sound of sobbing. Go, turn. You have to go.
We have to go save Birdie.
Totally.
Yeah.
No one will harm me, says Ao, not totally having a read on the social situation and still appearing like Belcora.
Are you so you're trying to not sound like Ao? You're trying to sound like Belcora?
Is the voice is clear to her?
Yeah, Ao recognized. You spent enough time talking to Birdie.
No, then I think she's just like she maybe hasn't done a good job of internalizing the obvious horrific trauma that this person has undergone. So she's not like fully being Belcora, but maybe she's being a little goofy. So let's say it's more of an Ao voice than a Belcora voice.
Okay.
Question. Is Birdie saying that, like telling us to go away because Belcora is in our ship? Do we know the distinction, or is she just saying it to us as...
Can you give me a perception check to sense motive, to get a sense of where it is that she's coming from?
Cool, thank you.
You get the sense that she has only heard the sound of a boat passing along the water. So she doesn't have any sense until Ao speaks of who it is that is coming in this direction.
Amazing. Thank you for clarifying.
Is she up in one of those caves? Is that where she is, or is she further to the west?
It sounds as though she's up in one of these caves.
Okay.
And the last thing she has shouted out to you is, "Go away." And she's sobbing.
Are you alone?
Trilphus, no! You have to turn back! Don't come any closer, they'll see you! Leave me, let me die!
And then you hear a rustling at the back of the nearest cave. And you see a hand reach forward and grab the rocky ledge of the cage. This hand has sharp fingernails like claws, but it's small. And out from the darkness of this cave, you see the face of this creature emerge. It's a small humanoid, like one of the children of Belcora, but its hair has gone long and white, and where its face should be, there's a steady plume of smoke. Behind that smoke, within sunken eye sockets, you see a pair of glowing red eyes, like coals, smoldering within the creature's head. It crawls to the edge as Birdie calls out, "No, just leave, just leave." Roll for initiative.
Oh.
Sweet.
Roll for initiative.
Should we just turn around and leave Birdie? I don't know. This seems complicated.
Yeah.
Back to town.
Can any chance I can do stealth here? What with it all being dark, or can this thing?
You
see?
can definitely do deception. You're pretending to be Belcora.
Good point.
Like, for sure.
Awesome. Love that for me.
So Trill can see this coming up on the cliff, right?
Yes.
So she could battle cry?
Yes, for sure you could. As this
All right.
creature claws its way towards the edge of this cave.
She had her lute at the ready and starts trying to play some very some music that would be horrifying to an undead gnome.
Don't stop.
Don't stop believing.
Maybe yacht rock, actually. Yeah, I think yacht rock.
I can see that, yeah.
I feel like they would hate yacht
It's certainly nautically, thematically appropriate.
rock. I would say one on the die.
One on the die. Not gonna get it done. Okay, let's go around the horn and let's see how everybody did on initiative here as these creatures start crawling out of these caves, smoke pouring out of their faces, glowing red eyes behind the smoke. How did Zoe do? Zoe, how did Ao do?
Ao did kind of middling, 26.
Okay, and you rolled deception for initiative, which makes sense
Yep.
because you are disguised. This might throw them off for sure. How did Armet, how did Isthan do?
Pretty good. 17 on the die for 29.
You're the fastest, it looks like, of our friends here on the hero side of things. Robin, how did Trill do?
That was a 1 on the die. That's right, listener. 2 ones in a row.
Well, but now it's out of your system.
We'll see.
Okay. And how did, David, how did Mag do?
Only a 15 for Mag. I imagine maybe we're not really used to starting fights from boats. I guess it happened once before, but we're fiddling with the oars.
First up, as we start this encounter, the 4 of you are on this rowboat. It is filled. It is to capacity. If you manage to survive this and you manage to get Birdie free from whatever these creatures are, you're still going to have the problem of how you get her to dry land, which is a problem. That's a problem for another time, though, because there are these caves, 4 caverns set 10 feet above the surface of the water. As we start the beginning of round 1, one of these caves to your west, you see a creature emerge from it. Another one of these strange glowing eye gnomes. It glares at Trill, and I need Trill to make a fortitude save as this creature's red eyes get larger and larger in her vision.
That's a 25.
That 25 fails.
Oof.
And Trill feels the life drain out of her body. She now has the drained condition, and you hear a sort of whisper from the edge of this cave, as it seems like this creature has gotten a little bit of extra strength from Trill being eaten through by its gaze.
Yikes.
Also, sorry.
Oh no.
Salt on the wound coming.
You're drained too, and you also see your life flash before your eyes as you become doomed 1.
With just failing by 1? Jesus.
Just failing by 1. In the cave to the west, you see another creature clamber to the edge of the cave. It leaps into the water and swims up to the boat. It is now Isthen's turn, as Isthen sees that there is one of these undead creatures in the water outside the boat, about 5 feet away from Mag, and also one on a cave, in a cave set into this wall, this rock wall, to her north and one to her west. What is Isthen going to do?
So I think he's going to frantically throw his eyes up and down the walls of the canyon, looking at the caves above them, and then just snap into a decision. And he's going to start by casting Slashing Gust at the 2 closest undead creatures.
And I think, sensing the sudden direness of this, Ao is going to use a reaction to give Isthen Inspired Stratagem, so he gets to do two rolls. Like
amazing.
She's like, I feel like all of this stuff has suddenly gone wrong.
Thank you. Okay, so I need to make attack rolls against both of their ACs. So this is the first one up at the one near us in the cave.
Yeah, so you get to pick which one of these rolls gets that Inspired Stratagem.
I'm going to use it on this one.
Okay.
So I think that means I get to re-roll happily.
Yes.
And you take the better of the 2.
Yeah. Oh, great. So I got a 6 and I got a 7. So I'm taking the 7.
You did better.
Yeah, I'm much better.
And that's versus this one. That is a miss, as this gust of wind bursts from Isthen's staff and misses, but you get to roll one more attack versus another creature.
Yeah, and happily the map doesn't apply to either of these. So.
Phenomenal.
28 to hit.
And that's versus the one that is right in front of the boat.
Yes.
That's going to hit. I'm going to say Isthen is tall enough that you can see this creature. It doesn't have cover, but you do get the sense that if it's attacking you from the water, it's probably going to have cover attacking up into the boat. Does that make sense?
I think so. Yeah.
Like it's in the water. This rowboat, if it's trying to attack through the rowboat, it's gonna you're gonna have cover against it. You're standing up on this rowboat looking down on it. You don't. It doesn't have cover against you. So that attack hits.
Totally. Oh, yay. Awesome. Let me roll the damage for that. 11 damage. Slashing.
Okay, 11 slashing damage as this creature wordlessly and soundlessly gets cut at by this gust of wind.
And then Istin is going to drop into his Arcane Cascade stance. And I guess the 1 point will be extra slashing damage because he knows they'll take that now. And that's his turn.
As Istin enters this magical stance, it is Ao's turn. Ao, you rolled deception against these creatures in initiative. You get the sense that this creature that has not gone yet, has not moved yet to the north, the one that you first spotted as its claw grabbed the edge of this cave, that creature is flat-footed to you for this round.
All right, she's going to pull out chompers and is going to fire 2 quick arrows at the one that she senses is off guard to her, the one to the due north. First one is a 35 to hit.
That is a critical hit because they are off guard to you. Huge turn as the ghost of Belcora Harvex shoots an arrow.
Pretty good damage roll there, too. 48 points damage.
A bonkers damage roll. Huge hit from Ao. All of the rest of you see that this creature has been hit very badly.
Go away, she mumbles to herself, and fires off a second arrow. That's a 26 to hit.
That hits also.
Wow.
All right.
Again, because it's off guard.
Not as good a damage roll, 8 points of damage there.
Okay. So 2 quick arrows towards this undead creature, and that undead creature sees Ao launching arrows at it, and they start staring at Ao. Its eyes permeate Ao's body, and I need a fortitude save.
The 17?
Okay, that's not quite a critical hit. Or that's not quite a critical failure, which means that you are going to become doomed 1 and drained 2 as the life force starts getting squeezed out of your body, and you hear it go,
Yikes.
and it sort of eerily jumps off of the cave and splashes into the water next to Ao. And Ao, you get a nose full of this smoke permeating its face. It is now Trill's turn. Trill, your heart is nearly stopping from this strange malignant glare that is washing over you, and also one of these creatures is directly in front of you. What are you going to do?
Well, I think the first thing Trill has to do is try and inspire some courage with a courageous, whatever the thing is called. Oh man, this thing sucks. Pete's sake. Remember, someone said, "Oh, you've got 2 1s. The rolls are going to be fine." I got a 2 now.
Yikes.
So I
Well,
only
you're
got
going up. You're going up.
Yeah.
I got a 22.
Okay, so that's a failure. You don't spend the focus point, and you get a round of Inspire Courage.
Okay. So I think Trill is annoyed at these 2 things then, and with no other options that feel like a great use of her time at the moment, she's going to electric arc them.
I love it.
Zip, zip, zip.
So that could be 13 points of damage.
Okay, as they, in the water, try to dodge out of the way, one of them rolls a 31, and the other one rolls a 25.
The 25 is a failure.
Okay.
Well, they're both a bit damaged now.
They are both a bit damaged. I agree. Big turn from Trill. It is the beginning of Mag's turn. At the beginning of Mag's turn, the creature that is in the water right in front of Mag, swimming in the lake, is going to send a quick glance your way, and I need a fortitude save for Mag.
24.
That's a success. You shake off whatever this creature is trying to do to you from the water. What would you like to do on your turn?
How far away from the shore is the boat? We're still 10 feet out, or have we sort of moored?
You're about 10 feet out. You can row the boat since you are behind the, since you're at the rows. But keep in mind that these caves are each about 10 feet above the water. So you're going to have to climb up into the cave if
I
that's
see.
what you
So
want to
we're stuck on the water in this thing. Okay. Well, I get rage already.
For free.
It's a free action. Because
Bow, chicka, wow, wow.
This
Bow,
Paizo
chicka,
fixed
wow,
the
wow.
game. Thank you.
Bow, chick. Oh, wow.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you for the drop. Thank you, Zoe, for saying bow
Extra
chicka wow wow.
$1,000 from Lars, right?
Yeah.
Or is it 10,000?
It is 10,000, sadly.
Jeez.
Yikes.
Lars, give me a ruling on whether I'm holding a weapon at this point or I'm still holding oars.
I think you're still holding oars.
I think that's right. So another free action, I'll drop the oars. And then action 1 is going to have to be drawing the Earthbreaker.
Great.
Action 2 then is going to be a strike against the one that started in the cave to our north that we've really been wailing on here. I'm going to call him Waylon. And I'm going to wail on him. 36 to hit.
That hits. Not a critical.
Oh,
Waylon Jennings.
really thought it might be.
Yeah.
What if I apply rage correctly to my token?
I don't think that it affects your attack rolls.
It doesn't?
sadly.
Okay.
No.
And Inspire Courage is on there. All right, I'm out of technicalities. Here's a damage roll. It's grasping at straw. Oh, that's a crummy roll. It's only 20 damage.
And you feel this thing bob in the water as you slam on it as it's swimming, and then it slowly floats back up to the surface. You got one more action.
All right, I'm gonna whack a whatever this thing is. Just bopped it down under the water. It floats back up, and I'm gonna bop it again.
Bippity bop.
Boppity bop bop bop. 18 to hit. No way.
The undead creature at the far end of this cavern, up on this ledge of this 10-foot cave, locks eyes on Mag now. Its eyes flare bright red, and Mag feels this creature staring into her soul as you hear the voice of Bertie Graham escaping from the cave to the north. No! No! And we will pick up from there next time.
Whew. We're all trained and doomed.
Awesome.
Roots of Ruin is a Tabletop Gold production produced under the Paizo Incorporated Community Use Policy, using trademarks and copyrights owned by Paizo that are covered under that policy. Paizo does not recognize, endorse, or sponsor this project in any way, and we are expressly prohibited from charging you to use or access this content. For more information about Paizo Inc. and Paizo products, visit paizo.com. All original characters and content in the Roots of Ruin are the property of Tabletop Gold, and all rights are reserved. We at Tabletop Gold would love to hear from you. On our website, tabletopgold.com, you can learn more about us and our shows, pick up great merch, and connect to the best online community in all of podcasting. Thanks for listening.